But now, more than 200 years later, is that dream over? We'll find out when a gun-toting, border-patrolling, anti-immigration Minuteman moves in with a family of illegal immigrants for the next 30 days. Someone who's dedicated his life to keeping illegal immigrants out of America, and he isn't afraid to take his message to the front lines.
My name is Frank George, also known as Francisco Jorge. I'm an immigrant from Guantanamo, Cuba, and I'm here today to protest illegal aliens from Mexico. We Americans are not going to put up with this anymore.
There's not one American flag above you, I don't think. You have faced the patriotic American people. You have faced the Minutemen and Save Our State organizations.
In 1957, when Frank was only 7 years old, he and his family fled their home during the Cuban Revolution. Because his father worked for an American sugar company, his family was able to immigrate legally to the United States. Yet Frank and his parents were forced to leave their home and possessions behind.
When we came, there was no such thing as asylum or amnesty. We had to obey the laws of immigration. We weren't given any breaks. We just did it all legally, and I'm very proud of my father and my mother for having done that. People have to understand that I've already been through the experience of losing a country. What we see developing here is the possibilities of extreme civil strife and violence. The recent events in Los Angeles where 500,000 have come out and demonstrated for their rights is inconceivable to me, because the only right they have is to be deported back to whatever country of origin they came from. I can't see thousands of people coming over the border every day and not do something about it.
Frank, his wife Jane, and their fellow Minutemen buddies often gather to patrol the border on weekends. More than 1 million illegal immigrants attempt to cross the U.S.-Mexico border each year, and the 7,000 volunteer members of the Minutemen have taken matters into their own hands to try and stop as many of them as they can.
I got involved with the Minutemen after 9/11. 9/11 was an immigration-related issue. These men who killed so many of our own set the American people, like myself, into motion.
Bigfoot, this is Zulu. Do you copy? Let's break out the good stuff.
Standard thing when I go to the border is to take my 9mm handgun, take lots of ammo, take my Kel-Tec rifle that uses a .223 round, and I take at least 500 rounds. I take my wife with me. She's pretty tough, and she's got her own rifle, and she's gung-ho. She won't put up with any crap either.
Yeah, I see him standing up there.
The Minutemen don't apprehend illegal immigrants. Instead, they report any illegal crossings to the U.S. Border Patrol.
Oh, there's 2 more down here.
We've got about 6 of them out there, and there's going to be more, so thank you guys. You're doing a good job spotting them already.
When I think of illegal immigration and the problems that it brings to the United States, the foremost problem that I see is that it will bring about the dissolution of this country. It will tear it apart totally and completely.
Frank will spend the next 30 days living with the Gonzalez family, whose 7 members are some of the hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants who presently live in Los Angeles. Patty and her husband Rigoberto have 5 kids. The 2 youngest, Ricardo and Karina, were born in the U.S., so they're American citizens. The 3 oldest children, Uriel, Armida, and Alba, crossed the border illegally with their parents 12 years ago and have been living here undocumented ever since.
Nosotros hijos, mis 3 hijos y mi esposo y yo, no tenemos papeles.
The family, who come from a small town in central Mexico, share a tiny 1-bedroom apartment that measures less than 500 square feet.
En esta cama, que es una baby, duerme Armina, y acá en esta duerme Lidia. Acá en este lugarcito duerme mi hijo, que acá está mirando la recámara. En esta recámara duerme Karina, y en esta otra duerme Ricardo. Aquí. Y aquí donde estoy parada, aquí dormemos mi esposo y yo. Y como está aquí, como te digo, no vive uno bien ampliamente.
Before he heads off to Los Angeles, Frank and his wife have a last meal at their home in Mojave, California.
Oh, you know what really ticks me off? If they're one of the families that covered the American flag with the Mexican flag.
Well,
that's almost like a takeover issue.
A lot of us look at it and it looks like an occupying army. What comes next? Is there going to be violence?
Just keep your head down.
Very possible.
To live as an illegal immigrant for the next 30 days, Frank will have to follow 3 rules. First, he'll have to leave any and all personal identification behind. Second, he'll have to move in with a whole family of illegal immigrants and share their tiny apartment. And third, he'll be put to work as a day laborer.
I'm just going to go like no identity here in the United States, okay? That's the way they do it. That's the way I'm going to do it.
Same place I gave you the link to, Mike.
I'm in East Los Angeles, but it's not the East Los Angeles that I knew years ago. A lot of it looks more to me like I'm in Mexico. For me, living with illegal aliens for 30 days, it is an opportunity to present before the American people a problem that is huge. I want millions of Americans to get out there and do something about this before our nation is gone.
El señor, o sea, me gustaría que fuera uno de este color, que unos vayan a estar en cualquier cosa y decir, ay, no, pues sí, de ver.
Well, they know who he is.
No, I wouldn't want them
They agreed to be part of the show.
Like totally stud. I mean, if he's a white Minuteman, then I would totally understand why he's not immigrants. But if he's a Latino,
Huh?
I just see a black glare.
Yeah, that TV don't have a good angle of it. This one's great, but I can't set it up to do that.
About how they might perceive me because of my border activities. I have some anxiety with respect to how I may be received because I'm not at all in favor of them being here illegally. I'll be very honest, you know, my thought is to arrive and 30 seconds later.
He's gonna go live with them.
I mean, they know what he is.
Yes, and he's gonna live with them as one of them for 30 days.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, señora. ¿Cómo está usted?
Bien.
Mucho gusto en conocerla.
No, soy casa.
Frank or Francisco, either way. Pleased to meet you, sir.
Armida.
Armida, pleased to meet you, Armida. And your? And you, young lady? Karina. I'm Frank. Ricardo. Recuerdo cuando llegué de Cuba que era niño, que somos latinos y todo lo que pasamos nosotros. Estar aquí es como vivir de nuevo, ¿no?
So you're Cuban?
Yeah, I was actually born there. All of a sudden, I'm in the living room and I'm looking at the family in its entirety, and they're looking at me, and I could tell that there was an uneasiness between all of us. How would you solve your immigration status problem if you could?
I'm just gonna try to do good in college, and I don't know, talk to lawyers and see what I can do. Are you completely against the amnesty?
Yeah.
So no exceptions.
I'm sorry to say no exceptions.
So do you feel like a hypocrite because you were born in Cuba?
No, because
do you come in legally?
Yes. Yes.
We're not criminals, you know. Like, you know, if I'm doing fine in school and I'm, you know, I'm a great asset to this country.
But we're a nation of laws. It's very important that we abide by our laws. We can't have another amnesty. Our government is too irresponsible.
I just hope he just questions what he really believes and, you know, like, really gets to see what we go through our eyes.
If I could deport the Gonzalez system, I would have to. That's the way the law is written.
It's day 2, and Frank, an anti-immigration Minuteman, wakes up to find himself the 8th member of a family of illegal immigrants in Los Angeles.
Hey, Sebastián. Hola, Ricardo. Arriba. Hey, apúrate. Oh, espérame.
Alba, levántate, ya es tarde.
Apúrate, ¿quién va al baño?
¿Dónde dejaste las llaves?
Ay, digo, esto que no tienes ojos, estás ciego.
One room.
Está todavía bien dormido, Hello. Buenos días.
The house is very, very crowded. There's just too many of them in a small square footage area. They're a big family. Little kids, kids that are older, mom and dad, very small square footage to the abode that they live in. Very little privacy. Something that few Americans would be willing to accept.
Oh, who did it offer?
Please don't.
My sisters, everybody.
Really?
My sister Parmina, she's a captain. Last year she
Okay,
played for
sorry the layout's not set up right.
just because one stroke, she couldn't make it to the state finals.
Oh, really? I think it's my turn to use the restroom now.
Hello, is that a problem?
Actually, it'd be good for my back.
Huh? Okay, well, actually those chairs are in my bedroom too. Those black chairs that fold out.
Rigoberto supports his family by working as a handyman in the local neighborhood and by taking care of the apartment complex his family lives in. The whole family of 7 survives on less than $15,000 a year, which is well below the U.S. poverty line. With a new set of hands in the house, Rigoberto wastes no time putting Frank to work as a day laborer.
I can see that Rigoberto does what he can every single day to earn some money for his family. He doesn't have steady employment. It trickles in. He tries to develop it as he can. $20 here, $30 there. He gets paid less than anybody else. That's part of the secret of why some people welcome illegal aliens, because they exploit the hell out of them. The people that hire him are making a killing at his expense. The flip side is an American laborer cannot compete with those prices. Cannot. That means that Mr. Gonzalez keeps himself in poverty, but also keeps Americans from getting food on their table.
No es verdad lo que Frank dice, que veníamos a quitarle el trabajo a ellos. Ellos no están trabajando porque quieren ganar 30 o 35 dólares la hora. Nosotros ganamos menos porque somos indocumentados, no tenemos papeles, no porque no tenemos a quitar el trabajo, eso nunca. Y en verdad nosotros estamos haciendo el trabajo que ellos no quieren hacer.
How did you get into the whole Minuteman thing, the Minuteman project? I just keep thinking about it. It's, you know,
all right, let me explain that to you.
You're an immigrant, you know, like the Pilgrims were immigrants.
Yes, but I'm a legal immigrant. I had to do certain things.
Were the Pilgrims legal too?
They were legal in the sense that England owned America at that time.
How did they own it?
Well, because they took it over. So
By
it wasn't.
force.
First it belonged to England, and that's where the Pilgrims came.
And before that?
It would belong to the Indians, and unfortunately, the point is that we do lose countries by force. We lose countries by irresponsibility, and people suffer.
It's okay. How about if you see a family in the border, like 2 kids and their parents, and you see, don't you see the future in that little girl in that little boy's eyes? Yeah.
I feel compassion, and I feel sorry.
But you still call them border patrol.
That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm a citizen of this country. I'm taking care of this country, and I have to protect it. That is the oath that I took. That's the oath that I uphold.
Like many illegal immigrants that one day shall become legal, they will take that oath too. The American dream, oh my gosh, you know, it's the American dream, you know. This is what this nation is known for, you know, the American dream. And for him to want to stop that is like, it's insane.
It's day 4, and Armita's high school teacher, Mr. Young, has invited Armita and her family to a local Mexican restaurant to celebrate her upcoming high school graduation. Armita is an honor student with a 3.8 grade point average, and her dream is to be the first in her family to get a college education.
In September, I will start college. I still don't know which one because, okay, my top choice is Princeton. I'm waiting to hear from Princeton. And my second choice is Santa Clara University. I applied to a Fulbright scholarship, so if I get this scholarship, I can go to any university I wanted to. So hopefully this September I'm taking off, so. Princeton, here I go.
Well, since I first met Army back in the 6th grade and she wandered in looking around, seeing how things were, she's been an inspiration to me. She's been an inspiration to everyone that I know. Teachers still talk about her. It doesn't surprise anyone what's happened to her. I thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of it. Thank you. It's all Army. It's all Army. I love you, dear.
Well, watch all of it.
Your name, man?
I've been to the borders. I know what the hell they're talking about.
These guys are idiots. idiots.
No, we're not idiots. We go to the border and we see what's happening. That's why I know I'm not a goddamn idiot.
You're going to send 30 million people back to Mexico? Then what? Then where do you go with that? And then how are you going to deal with the children of these people? So you're going to leave them here, who are the citizens?
They have to have a revolution in their country. They have to fix their country. I don't want any American blood shed over Mexico.
You're making it once again. You're making it sound like there's 40 of them here. If we can just straighten out these 40, they're here. That's what I don't get.
Problems are problems. Oh, they're here, all right. But problems are problems, and you have to deal with them. That's what it is. Life is not easy. Why does it happen? Because this goddamn government doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Because their goddamn government in Mexico has let them down.
Fíjate que sí me asustó cuando yo vi a Frank que se puso, de hecho hasta se agarró así con la mesa y lo vi su rostro que cambió de momento, ¿no? Que se puso muy tenso.
I do not give up my goddamn country for nobody. You come to America, you keep your culture, yes, you're proud of your culture, yes, but you become an American and you contribute in that sense. And when you hit the goddamn street because you have a problem with America, don't go out there with some goddamn flag other than the American flag. Show people that you're for this country.
America is an alien body. The sickness is illegal immigration and all the corruption that accompanies it. Americans, get up and save this country or you will have none.
A week into his 30-day experience living with a family of illegal immigrants, Minuteman Frank's presence has made the Gonzalez's apartment feel that much smaller.
He is an American.
Por algo tiene esa idea. Él piensa que este es el país de él.
Pero es hipócrita porque también fue inmigrante él. Es que él se le hace tan fácil, oh, váyanse y vengan legal, pero no es así. Él tiene que cambiar.
No podemos cambiar el mundo. No podemos cambiar el mundo.
To show Frank how she pitches in to help make a living, Patty invites him on her weekly trip to the recycling center.
Voy a vender mis botes al recycling. Pues unos $5, yo pienso.
Since they can't get steady jobs without legal documents, Patty and her family have to do whatever they can to make ends meet.
Esto yo lo hago aquí. Vengo y agarro 3 cartas.
Una para las latas, otra para el plástico.
Y otra para los galones de la leche o los jugos de los jugos. Okay. Mire, acabo de ganarme $5. Aquí en esta botita yo guardo lo que he ganado todo desde que empezó este año. Iba a ser para mis hijos para Navidad. Mire, tengo esta cantidad. Mire, digo eso, apenas empecé el año. 30, 35, 40, 45, $49 que llevo juntado desde enero.
¿Eso lo consigue usted con el asunto de las latas y todo eso?
Sí, con ese dinerito. ¿Y sabe por qué lo estoy juntando? Porque esta Navidad quiero que mis hijos tengan bueno, de menos que les pueda dar un poquito de esto, ¿no? Porque ha habido Navidades que qué bárbaro. Promesas que a veces no puedo cumplir, pero hoy voy a tratar de cumplirlas, ¿ok?
Está bien.
Esta botita es de mis hijos. Y aquí se va a juntar todo lo que colecte este año.
It was Patty, the wife, who broke the ice for me with a beautiful, wonderful, loving personality that just, just embraces you without even touching you.
Ay, pero algún día será rica.
All right.
A mí me encanta el pan y el café todos los días.
It's very hard on a person when you look at the people and you like them, yet you know that they're not supposed to be here, you know that they've broken the law by being here, and yet you feel for them.
With this. You pick them up with this.
Wrong with this?
Wrong with this.
You're being pulled apart in a sense, and always I have to keep reminding myself, it's like having friends that you have not had for a long time, but you know what? We know what's what. We're on opposite ends of the spectrum.
So what's a Minuteman?
Oh, and it's like, have you heard, like, seen the news, like, those guys out in the border with guns, like, trying to keep immigrants out of the country? He's there at your house? Yeah, he sleeps there, he eats there, he's there 24/7.
Just like they had some concerns about me being a Minuteman, I had some concerns about these folks and what could transpire or whatever. We come to find out we're together, we get along well.
Yeah.
They're very warm people. After a while, it begins like there's an aspect of family here.
Amamos a Dios como amamos a todos. Amamos a los inmigrantes. Sin papeles o con papeles. Va librada.
On day 12, Frank and Armida put politics aside long enough for her to give him his first golf lesson.
How long have you been golfing?
Since 10th grade?
Since 10th grade?
It's funny to me that Armida very badly wants to be a part of mainstream America. She wants to have this collegiate experience where she'll be admitted into this big college and have what rich girls have.
Oh.
There is a point at which Armida has to face reality. Very hard, very difficult for somebody to get a scholarship of the type that she wants, particularly given her immigrant status.
Hey.
So that's how I was supposed to go.
That is fantabulous.
I like Frank. As long as I don't talk about politics with him, I'm fine. I just start talking about politics with him and I just get like this huge headache.
Okay. First time golfing and I'm being beat by a girl. Okay. Oh, congratulations. Yes, you did.
After a month of waiting, the letter that Armida has been anxiously expecting from Princeton University has finally arrived.
Where's it at? Where's the letter?
Wow, shit, the grades for Princeton? Holy shit.
Yeah, apparently
The admission process is a difficult one for students and families. Your application was reviewed thoroughly and we realized that you may be disappointed with our decision. The admission committee has met and I am sorry to inform you that we're not able to admit you to Princeton this year.
How can she go? Don't have papers.
Can't exactly, but it's funny she has the grades to do it. That's the
kind of cold and stuff.
It's day 15, and today the United States Senate is debating a new immigration bill.
Yes, Rastigator.
Unlike the House of Representatives plan that would make Armida and her family felons who could be imprisoned, the Senate's bill provides a path for legalization that would give them a shot at becoming American citizens.
No, the bill that I was telling you about, have you read up on it? Because it's been all over the news this morning. Because it's right now they're talking about it in the Senate.
Yeah, it's a very lively debate.
So you really wouldn't want this to pass?
No, I would not. I would not.
Would you protest against it?
Of course I would.
You would?
Of course I would. You have to.
Si llegara a pasar la ley esta, yo tendría mis papeles y yo tendría mi negocio, porque yo sé hacer, entonces yo ya me ponía próspero.
Si usted se imagina, mi marido con esa inteligencia que tiene para hacer todo, con su propio negocio, quizás él ayudaría a otros a darles trabajo.
Cualquier persona que esté aquí con documentos o sin documentos, si necesita trabajo, yo le puedo dar. Yo se lo voy a dar.
But you see, they're willing to become American and to, what's the word that you use all the time? Assimilate.
If you're going to become a legal resident and you're still going to employ and give a helping hand to illegal aliens,
that's
which means that's aiding and abetting, that's breaking the law. Then of what value are you to our society?
Hoping to change Frank's mind, Armida invites him to a candlelight vigil to show him the widespread support for the new Senate legislation.
What can you tell me about the Che Guevara t-shirt? There's a young lady up there wearing one with Che Guevara's face in the back. Isn't that a symbol of revolution?
Not really into the whole revolution thing, yeah. I'm like, my whole...
What this is. This is revolution. That's exactly what this is.
You don't understand, right?
Well, I'm an American citizen, and I don't understand that all these people who are here illegally are telling me that they're here, they want to stay here, they want their family to come here, and that I should shut up and take it.
So, Frank, I have something for you. I have a candle.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I will not do that. Don't even offer me that. I won't do that. No. No.
The reason we're doing this is like, to get some sort of like legal status for undocumented people, and like that means the world to me. It really does mean the world to me,
We have laws, and those laws should be respected. It's like all of that should be suspended because this is her, she's here, and she wants what we have, and she claims it for her own, but she doesn't understand the basics.
He's trying to verify drama, Camille.
They don't mean that. They do not mean that. It's a prop, just like all the American flags are using. It's a prop for their movement, for their cause. And it's the end of America is what it is. If this is not the beginning of a revolution, I don't know what is.
Only he can change his mind. It's up to him, He has to like see it and come up with his own conclusion.
If you're going to be here, you have to be willing to take care of this country. And if you don't understand how to take care of this country, then you have to go back to Mexico.
It's day 20 of Frank's 30-day stay with illegal immigrants, and Rigoberto has a proposition for him.
La idea que tienen ustedes de los indocumentados que venimos para acá y todo eso,
sí.
¿Nunca se te ha ocurrido aquí ir a México, ver las dificultades que pasamos?
Here I was sitting down in the morning talking to Rigoberto, and all of a sudden he starts talking about Mexico and this and that and the other, and he says he's got his brother over there. Why don't I go see his brother down there?
Patty and Rigo haven't seen their families in Mexico in over 12 years, because like most illegal immigrants, they know that if they leave the United States, they probably won't make it back in. Last year, Patty's parents both died before she was able to visit them.
Patty, you would like to go to Mexico to visit?
Yes.
Sí. He aguantado mucho porque a veces me llega la nostalgia de mi madre y de mi padre. ¿Cómo no me hubiera gustado agarrar un vuelo y irme directo a ver a mi mamá, no? Por verla por última vez. No tuve esa dicha. Digo, Dios mío, no me diste la licencia de volverla a ver. Solo espero que un día Dios me dé licencia de volver a ir aunque sea a visitar su tumba, ¿no? Y de decirle lo que siento, que me perdone, ¿no? Porque no es que yo me haya olvidado de ella, es que en realidad no pude.
When I saw Patty break down and cry because she had not been able to go down there in Mexico and visit with her mom and dad before they died, I relived something from my own life because I remember my mother not being able to go to Cuba to go and tend to her parents or even to visit when they died.
A mí no me gustaría que a Rigo le pasara esto porque en realidad es una cosa que duele.
It's an unusual opportunity, one that will not come this way probably ever again. So I figured, hey, why not?
It's day 23, and having accepted Rigo's offer to visit his brother in Mexico, Frank heads south of the border.
Gana de Aviación, the first airline in Mexico since 1921, welcomes you.
When I see Rigo and Patty obviously hurting that they can't go and visit their families, of course I feel sorry for them. You have to. It's just an unfortunate set of circumstances that they're in, that if they went down here, they might not ever get back.
Rigo's arranged for Frank to stay with his younger brother Mario in the house they grew up in.
I think this
Most actually do, Dennis. It just takes time.
Buenas tardes. Hola, buenas tardes. Yo me llamo Francisco, yo soy el que se está quedando con Rigoberto.
Yo soy Mario, mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto, Mario.
Being inside of Rigo's brother's house, it was weird. I just wanted to get out of there as soon as I could. The place was filthy, not because they don't have a habit of cleaning it, it's just that no matter what you try and clean there, you can't make something clean that's got 50 years of dirt on it.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. Yo soy mamá de Rigo.
Mucho gusto, señora. Mucho gusto, María.
En el tiempo que Rigo se fue, no había trabajo, muy apenas sacaba 15, 20 pesos para alimentar a su familia. Y pues en realidad él nunca quería irse a Estados Unidos, pero donde ya vio esa situación, tuvo que irse para allá. Primero se fue él, después se fue su esposa y luego su niño. Entonces la vio más bien forzada para irse para allá.
Sí. Eso me contó a Patricia donde vivían, la forma en la cual vivían. Y parece que era una cosa muy, muy difícil. La descripción que ellos me dieron era una casa que era mucho peor que esta. ¿Y esa casa queda muy lejos de aquí?
Pasé la gasolinera, que me vine de ahí cuando hice...
¿Esa es la casa?
Esa es la casa. Esta fue su casa de Río antes de irse a Estados Unidos.
¿Eso es todo lo que tenían para una puerta?
Esto era lo que tenía. Y un tejabancito y una cortina.
Y entonces, para techo, ¿qué es lo que tenían?
Para techo tenían tejas y unos pedacitos de lámina. Ellos cocinaban en esa esquina.
En esa esquinita cocinaban. ¿Dónde tenían la cama?
Aquí así.
La camita la tenían ahí.
En esta parte.
¿Y cómo recibían agua?
Agua había un pocito allá arriba. Entonces ellos corrieron una manguera. Desde allá hasta acá no había baño, no había nada. O se iban por allá al terreno. Así fue su vida de él hasta que no. Y luego sin trabajo y sin nada.
Una etapa muy mal en la vida de ellos.
No, his parents were legal immigrants.
This is a horrible place for anybody to live. Only somebody that's homeless, which they were, would live in a place like this.
And you couldn't possibly last very long.
My understanding is that the only water supply came from up the hill someplace over there, and it was just natural water of sorts. It was not treated. So if there was any kind of bacteria or anything that would carry a disease, they would get it. This is not a place like a home at all. No way. Nobody lasts in anything like this. You get out of here as soon as you can. First chance you got.
Hey, pero este es el pocito de antes.
They made the place a home for themselves, but it's not a place anybody could really live in. It's just a hovel. It's a horrible place. Just horrible. It's unimaginable. And I'm sure that's pretty much burned into their memories. Maybe that's the reason that Armida tries so hard to do well in school, and I think this is part of the key to a lot of her behavior, that she wants to succeed and she tries hard to succeed because she's been in this place and she never wants to go back to this place again. Yeah.
They came from Cuba legally. His parents did.
Having come down here brings a new dimension into that dialogue that we have quite often, when she looks at me and she says, I want to be legalized. But you know, even though I always imagined that they came from a background of poverty, until you see what they would be going back to, you can't feel the full impact of everything. It does bring up a tremendous aspect of what they would be going back to. No doubt about that. And it just shows the kind of dilemma that we're in as human beings who have a heart and feel for other people. And you say to yourself, I want the laws of my country enforced. At the same time, you look at what they're headed to. It does have an effect.
Day 25, and the Gonzalez family is awaiting Frank's return from Mexico.
Richie, ¿Quién te ha dicho que eso es para jugar? Me la dejas donde la tenía, ¿ok?
Hola. Hola, ¿qué hay? Hace tiempo que no la veo. Hola.
I'm like so anxious, I can't imagine. Like seriously. Yes.
¿Y qué te pareció mi penthouse donde vivíamos antes? ¿Lo viste?
Sí.
Horrible,
How
¿no?
was it?
You can't even really call it a house.
Just
It was
a big
about
room.
the size of that room.
How does my grandma look? Does she look like really old?
She's an elderly woman, yeah, but her complexion is very nice.
How about my grandpa? Is he tall, short?
I think he's about your dad's height.
I don't have pictures of my grandparents. I remember slightly how they look like, but it's all like a vague memory.
You want to raise the volume on that thing? See if we got volume?
Para todos en general les mando un saludo.
¡Oh, verdad! Oye, ¿me parece igual?
Sí.
Mando saludos, todos están bien bendecitos. Espero mucho, todos quisiera verlos en persona, pero no se puede.
Es tu abuelo, Armidita. Y ahí está tu abuelita, mira. Ahí está, tu madre.
Antes cuando se venía a lavar al pocito, que todavía está esperándola.
She's funny.
Ahí está, mira, a ver si ya conoce a tu abuelita. No la conocías, mira.
I know my grandpa's really sick and I know he's about to die. He looks so fragile, you know? And I wish I really had the money so I can like take care of him, you know? Just really wish I had the opportunity to have grandparents growing up.
Y le mando saludos a ti, a todos sus hijos, principalmente a Río también.
¿Cómo está cambiado este hermano? ¡Qué bárbaro!
Pues es muy triste la realidad de mi hermano, pero es cierta. Yo siento que sí. No está bien la forma de cómo él está viviendo ahí. No está bien. Pero sí está un poco triste la situación ahí. Bastante. Y no le veo solución. La única solución es que me lo traiga para acá, Frank. Esa es la única solución.
Aunque yo voy a trabajar muy duro.
Yo entiendo que tú estás contra de lo que es, sí, pero para mí me lo tengo que traer. Hacerle la vida mejor. Es mi hermano. Cuando yo estaba en su lugar, y él está ahorita, él me ayudó a mí.
Yo todo eso lo comprendo. Yo lo siento mucho que tenga que venir él a la escondida, digamos, ¿no?
Sí, no, pues sí.
You know, I look at the poverty that they have in Mexico, and I can't blame them for trying to seek a better lifestyle. I can't. I just cannot.
Mira, Frank.
Oh, wow.
¿Sabes qué son esas?
Lombrices.
No.
No.
No. Esas no son lombrices, Frank.
¿Usted no cree? ¿Qué piensa que son?
Son como lagartijas o viboritas, pero las lombrices no son.
Oh, sí, tiene razón.
Lombrices no son.
Mirando la cabeza. No, fíjese que tienen paticas.
Una lagartija, ¿no?
Yep.
Mucha una patita, mira. Hacerlas a un lado, ¿no?
Sí, déjala que disfrute de su vida. ¿Qué cosa es que cuando uno es muchacho, algunas veces la primera solución que encontramos cuando vemos un bicho de eso es matarlo? Y después cuando maduramos, llegamos a apreciar lo que es la vida.
I never expected that I would feel as warmly about this family as I do. Never thought it would happen.
Wow!
I think, you know, perhaps what we learn is that first and foremost we're human beings. That's the thing that overrides everything else, the politics and everything else.
I had a good time, even though it was very stressful. I didn't know what to expect when I walked into the door. There'd be a bunch of people smiling at me, holding knives behind their back, or what was going to happen with the thing. But it only took a few moments to realize that you were good, warm people.
I think I've changed.
You think? I've become worse, huh?
No.
but I walked away with you know, another perspective involving human beings and seeing up close what happens.
Low sugar.
And,
are these Minutemen people your buddies? Or they're just people you know, acquaintances?
No, they're just acquaintances. There's my only real friend is my wife. I know you better than I know most men. It's a fact. It's a fact, yes.
So are you still going to be a Minuteman?
I'm sort of tired of going to the border. It would be very strange at this point in time for me to go to the border.
You're really going to miss him.
I will miss you too. Okay.
He is changing and he doesn't feel strong about his whole beliefs as he did before. It really meant a lot, you know, because it just shows this part of the kind of like transformation.
So, you know, if something happens, you get deported or whatever.
You'll sponsor me?
I'll sponsor you as long as everything is legal. That's, you know, that's always been my thing. I don't think any government agent is going to have the opportunity that I have had to see the kind of people that you are.
Why not, you know, be part of what helps to bring them here legally?
On Frank's final day with the Gonzalez family, a letter arrives from Santa Clara University. This could be Armita's last chance to go away to college in the fall.
I can't open it, you open it. Read it. You got it? I got it from Santa Clara University. You're going to give me a...
Sure.
Qué nueva es esa.
Felicidades. You have challenged yourself academically. You have contributed to your school and local community. You show an understanding of Santa Clara Central Mission. We know you will enrich our community. We have made our decision. I am the first one in my family to go to college, so I think I'm the one that is going to make that transition from, you know, just a regular ghetto kid from East LA.
You can.
To a college student.
So it looks like you got what you wanted. It's great.
Not required.
That's fantastic.
Not everywhere.
It's just scary if I don't get the money, you know?
Yeah. I understand that. I understand that completely.
Do you have $40,000 in the bank at the bar?
You know, it's funny. I was going to ask you the same thing.
Do you?
It's going to be hard saying goodbye to all of them. I'll do the best I can because men are not supposed to cry. But I will miss them all.
Lo que aprendí más aquí es recibir el punto de vista directamente de ustedes, porque uno puede leer un libro, pero un libro no ríe, un libro no llora, un libro no tiene memorias, un libro es una cosa humana, pero oír de ustedes, las circunstancias de ustedes, lo que han pasado aquí, es una oportunidad preciosa que se me ha dado a mí. Bueno, ahora ha llegado el momento de despedirnos. Esa por ser mi buena amiga, por haber sido tan buena conmigo y haber compartido su hogar y todo. Se lo agradezco. La mejor amiga no podría haber encontrado. Okay. ¿Y usted, que ha sido tan bueno conmigo?
And keeps prices down.
I learned so much from you.
I'll never forget that.
Yo quiero decirte gracias. Que espero que esto no quede aquí.
Algún día, cuando se pueda, le haré la visita y somos amigos.
Okay.
Espero que sí, Frank.
There comes a time when you love people for who they are. All politics aside. it's surprising to meet people that you don't want to be in this country because of the way they came in and liking them so much. What a shock. Never forget that. Never forget that.
No, I don't have to purchase them. I have a monthly subscription.
Awesome, you charge me whatever.
Yeah.
And in my movie Super Size Me, I explored the issue of obesity by eating nothing but McDonald's for 30 days straight. Over the course of my experiment, I went through a physical, mental, and emotional transformation that was like living somebody else's life. But it got me thinking, what if you could live someone else's life for just 30 days? After all, America's a big country with lots of different people. Is it possible we could all learn something from each other? I mean, would you feel comfortable as a Christian walking in a Muslim shoes for 30 days? What if you were a straight man living in a gay man's world? Would it change who you are? Say you drank like a college student for a month. Would you flunk out of life? In this series, we'll find out. And I'm going to kick it off with an issue many Americans deal with every day. Minimum wage. Millions of Americans work full-time jobs and still live below the poverty line. How do they survive? Could I do it? Well, we'll find out as I try to live on minimum wage for the next 30 days.
Hey! Hey, buddy, I'm still waiting.
Yeah, you want fries with that? I may be going to live on minimum wage for the next 30 days, but I'm not going it alone. I suckered my fiance Alex into coming with me. You might remember my girlfriend Alex from Super Size Me. We're engaged now. Alex is a vegan chef, and having her with me is going to make it a lot easier to stay healthy on the cheap.
What do you think?
Pretty good.
We're not going to be having this.
What we're going to have? Beans and rice? Nice. Spending 30 days on minimum wage won't be easy.
These earrings cost more than my college education.
You see, we've been living the good life ever since Super Size Me hit it big. Hell, we even got to go to the Oscars. Keep your fingers crossed. Unfortunately, we didn't win. Yeah, you know, we didn't win, so now I gotta get a job, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Once the Oscars were over, it was time for me to move on to my next project, working a minimum wage job. I'm concerned about what's going to happen just because I'm so bad with money. I'm the worst. I'm the worst.
Every time you go out the door, $20 falls out of your pocket. You're going to have to learn how to budget. When was the last time you made a budget for a living?
A budget for a living? What's that? I have not made a budget since, For the next 30 days, Alex and I have to follow 3 rules. First, we both have to work minimum wage jobs. Second, each of us will begin with cash equaling 1 week's minimum wage pay. $206 a piece. That's just $178.47 after taxes. And third, we have to freeze our credit cards and bank accounts and leave all our money behind. So what's left in my wallet is my driver's license and my ACLU membership card.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be scary. We're going to make it. Because you love me.
We decided to spend the next 30 days in Columbus, Ohio. The state of affairs in Ohio mirrors conditions all over the United States. Ohio has lost almost 250,000 jobs in the last 4 years alone. In fact, 3 of the top 20 poorest cities in the United States are in Ohio. Ohio was also the most hotly contested state in the 2004 election. So Columbus, Ohio's capital, seemed like the ideal place for us to begin our minimum wage lifestyle. We're crashing at my friend Jim's house for our first night in town, but after that, we're on our own. Before we do anything else, Alex and I have to find a place to live.
1 bedroom, $349.99.
Even with our 2 paychecks combined, we only have $356 as our starting balance.
Yes, I was calling regarding the ad that was in the Columbus Dispatch.
We just require that you make about 3.5 times the amount of rent per month.
Today, we're focused on finding an apartment. So we looked in the paper and we hit the streets.
Since Alex and I don't have a car, we bought a bus pass so we could get around town.
It's definitely
sketchy.
The goal for us is to not spend more than $400 a month. Looks like somebody's been ironing the carpet. Right next to the hot water heater. Extra toilet's always great.
It does smell like cigarettes and cleaning fluid in here.
Just in the hallway.
We hope. Okay.
Nice.
Everything counts.
You keep looking down, I'll keep looking up.
All right.
Alex and I looked all over town and finally found an apartment for $325 a month in a place called The Bottoms.
We've got 2 places here to show you.
Okay. This is wonderful.
Is there a thermostat or how does it work?
You get your own thermostat.
That's fantastic.
Well, no, it's not really a thermostat, but this is electric.
Okay.
So it's either heat's on or off?
And 2 days ago, there was a street person living in here. We just changed the locks this morning.
Oh, wow.
And just downstairs, there was a crack house.
Right downstairs was just a crack house?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
This is a little bit rougher area.
Okay.
But you got the hospital right here, so come on.
So in case we get shot in the head.
Right there. He's allowing us to pay off the deposit over a couple months, which is awesome, because we don't have the money now.
Maybe not as safe, but...
Yeah, it was a crack house last week.
That doesn't mean violence. They're just selling drugs.
Okay.
Can we move in?
Give me the keys right now.
Wait.
After paying $200 toward our first month's rent, we owe our landlord another $125 for the rent and $325 for security deposit.
Yay! We don't have to live on the streets. No. Very exciting.
We have an apartment, which is a great thing. And it's freezing in our apartment.
All right.
Home sweet home.
It's not that bad. We have to make around $1,000 before the end of the month, and that's feasible. We have a lot of time to make $1,000 between us. We can do it. We can do it. I'm confident.
It's day 2, and now that Alex and I have found a place to live, we have to get some jobs.
When it comes to being an unskilled laborer, there's no one more unskilled than I am.
Hey, I was wondering if you guys were hiring. I have loads of coffee experience.
Hey, I was here to respond to the ad for a job. Yeah.
I really want to work at a fast food place. I don't know if I'm going to have a choice. I was wondering if you guys were hiring.
Yeah.
temp service jobs today.
A lot of minimum wage earners go to temp agencies to get jobs fast, so I decided I would do the same.
So I wanted to find out about getting a job.
You get 2 forms of ID.
Okay.
1 picture, Social Security.
Okay.
All right.
Jose promised no sleeping on the job. That's number 1.
What you want? Come here.
What will be the rate for tomorrow?
It won't be less than 7.
Thanks, Rick. So I'll see you in the morning at 6. I'm making $7 an hour. That's $1.85 more than minimum wage. Not bad. I love the rules. Yeah, there's no drinking on the job, no fooling around. And my favorite one was that no hiding in the porta-john. So I can't hide in the portalet tomorrow while I'm at work, apparently. Come over.
Hi. I got a job.
Nice.
Alex got a job bussing tables and washing dishes at a coffee shop downtown, and I'm going wherever the temp agency sends me tomorrow.
You're getting jobs.
Look at you getting jobs. We're getting jobs.
Hallelujah.
Now we gotta get something to eat. I was so hungry today. There were so many times when I wanted food. Normally I would just buy something, and I didn't do it. Just because we don't have the money.
What did you eat today?
I filled out an application at the deli. They had a barrel filled with free pickles. Where I ate about 6 pickles while we were there. I took about another 6 with me. I had never been in a position of denying myself when I was hungry. I mean, today was really, really hard. Tomorrow the work starts. The real work starts. The actual physical labor, having to get up and live this life. And I'm excited about it. See you later.
It's day 3 of our life on minimum wage in Columbus, Ohio. We're down to $82, and we owe our landlord $450 for our first month's rent and deposit.
Boy.
Today is the first day of work for me and Alex.
I need to wake Alex up so she can lock the door. Lock the door. Lock both locks. It's 5:30 in the morning. I'm waiting for a bus. Having to rely on a bus that's going to make mine and Alex's days seem even longer. Good morning. People do it every day. It was something I never thought about. There's a lot of people in here, man. Yeah. How long have you been working here?
Third day.
Third day?
Yeah.
What were you doing before this?
Looking for a job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit on the floor and eat my breakfast. We don't have any chairs. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to walk to work. So I'm walking because every bus trip costs $1.35. And right now, we can't spare that. Morning. How are you? Good.
This is a regular grinder. This is a flavor grinder.
Okay.
Things that touch flavor coffee don't ever touch any,
Right.
Flavor coffee's equal.
Okay.
Hey, Superintendent, you're going to be reporting to Steve. You're right, one of our guys that works out that way.
Okay.
I'm making less money this morning than I did my first job 29 years ago. I got my first job in 1976 at General Motors. My starting wage was $7.55 an hour. This morning I'm going out in 2005, I'm making $7. No insurance. They call this prosperity. I call it slavery. But they say, hey, we can't pay what the big automakers paid. I always say, okay, but can you pay me what they were paying a quarter of a century ago?
When the minimum wage was first established in 1938, it was meant to help workers maintain the bare minimum standard of living. But since the minimum wage hasn't been raised since 1997, while the cost of living has gone up, the law no longer does precisely what it was meant to do. Senator Ted Kennedy has introduced a bill to Congress every year since 1997 attempting to raise the minimum wage. Every year, the bill fails to pass.
Increase in the minimum wage increases productivity, brings children out of poverty, and strengthens their economy.
Those who oppose raising the minimum wage argue that to do so will cripple businesses, forcing them to cut employment and lay off workers.
The Kennedy bill, a 41% increase in the minimum wage, would be a real shock to the system. I think we might see some immediate negative consequences, a slowdown in growth, a slowdown in job creation, lower labor regulations, lower taxes. That's what creates job opportunities.
While Congress hasn't taken any action to raise the minimum wage over the past 7 years, they've accepted their own cost of living increases to the tune of $27,000.
It's pretty cold. Steve, pleasure, man.
Have you sanded drywall before?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was my very first job. When I was like 14, this was my very first job.
Look at the legs, you see that? It's all about the legs. Malcolm, you making a career out of those 2 pieces of wood?
They call me Malcolm. It was good, man.
Oh, good. Our stuff's still here. It's so cold. I finished up work. It took me half an hour to walk home. The worst part of it is no tips. So I walked home with $3.50 tips. Which kind of blows.
Morning? Yeah. So I got here at 6, so that was an 11-hour day. 45.26. $4.20 an hour I actually made. So I'm actually made less than minimum wage, even though I was making $7 an hour. That's terrible. Every day when I come home, I put all my money in the bank. See, Alex and I have a bank in the closet now. There it is. Look at all that loot in the bank.
I won't get paid until next week.
So tell me about your job today.
It's hard work. It's hot, it's wet, it's steamy, it's gross.
Tell me about something else to happen today.
I'm done with talking about today for now, really. Go ahead.
Okay.
Man, let me tell you why I'm grouchy on our first full day of work. Because I haven't been warm since we got here. I'm freezing, I can't get warm. That's why I'm grouchy. So everybody can just step off.
I love you.
Yeah. Good.
Good.
So it's day 4, and things just keep getting better.
We were incredibly excited to learn today that we are now officially infested with ants. They're everywhere. There's my toothbrush, and there's a dead ant.
If I wake up and find even one ant on me, I'm gonna flip out.
I think Alex is starting to have a hard time already. Home is a refuge. You know, it's a sanctuary. It's a place where you can go at the end of the day and let go and relax and be comfortable and happy. And our apartment here is not.
Home sweet hovel. Now is when we reheat the leftovers. Recycled, pilfered crackers that I got from work.
Ugh.
I really, really wish that we could find some furniture. I wish we had a few more creature comforts.
Oh, where should we eat tonight? Why not right here?
Same guy, yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
There are many government programs that provide necessities for the working poor. But where do you go when you need something like furniture?
Hey, oh, dude, you stained the carpet.
Lucky for us, we're in Columbus, which has an amazing network of charities that provide other basics for the working poor. For example, I found out that we're within walking distance of a church-run store where everything is totally free.
There's enough to go around for everyone, we just don't share it well. So we're here as a place to share things, that's all.
We are supported by donations coming in the back door. This is where volunteers work. That's what generosity looks like. Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. They had snacks there, and cakes, and cookies, and coffee, and toys for kids. We got some stuff for our apartment and for ourselves. I got some warm clothes to wear to work.
What is this?
That's always nice.
Oh.
Oh.
It's a welcome. It's a welcome.
It provides such a valuable service to people like myself, like Alex and I right now, and tons of other families and individuals who are struggling to get by.
There's so many good people out there. They have almost nothing, and they give every bit away that they have. Human beings can be so incredibly wonderful, and sometimes I forget that.
We're gonna have a place to sit tonight. I'm very excited about that.
Da-da-da-da. Look
yes,
at
it
this. I'm sitting. I can eat at the same time and sit and put it down. Who cares if it's rice and beans every night? I've got a table and chair.
We're going to remove all this turf, so...
Okay.
It's day 9, and although I had the option to go back to the construction site, I got offered a landscaping job for more money. The construction job wasn't bad, but more money is mo money.
Oh man, my wrist is hurting. Definitely more physical labor than I did over on that construction side.
My wrist is killing me tonight. I was thinking I should go to a doctor, but I mean, we don't have insurance. I have no way to cover this. I don't have a credit card.
No, I can't go to the doctor tomorrow. I mean, missing work tomorrow, that's like, you know, it's $50.
What if you hurt your arm even worse? What if you permanently put yourself out of commission? And then you don't make any more money for the rest of the month.
Right now in the bank, we only have $120, and we need to make about $900. I mean, for us to be able to get by this month, we have to go to work.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's day 10 of my 30 days on minimum wage, and the physical labor is starting to get to me. Although I've been careful not to make my wrist injury worse, I've decided that I should go see a doctor today just to be on the safe side.
See those muscles? Look at that. Right down. You're definitely doing that the right way.
Because Alex and I don't have health insurance, I had to go to the free clinic to see a doctor.
Yes.
Due to limited doctors tonight, we're only going to be able to take about 20 people. So if anybody has a serious problem, you really feel bad, and you don't think you'll get in, we highly recommend that you go ahead and go to the emergency room, okay?
At the clinic, I end up being number 35, so I won't get to see the doctor today.
I was here at 2:30.
2:30. 2:30. And how many people were in line in front of you?
5.
This is not like the only free clinic in Columbus, but there's several of them and they're just swamped. All of them.
I don't know what to do about my wrist. I can't miss work to go to the doctor, and I can't get into the free clinic.
Somebody said to me that we don't have health care in America, we have sick care.
That's basically right. If you have a heart attack and you have no money and you go into the ER, you can have open heart surgery and you'll get real good care. But if you need some kind of preventive care to keep you from having a heart attack, you're out of luck.
Why are you guys here?
You both have diabetes. Yeah. And you have no health care.
No,
yeah.
Can't afford it.
What would you do if there wasn't a place, if there wasn't this clinic?
I don't know. I'd probably just kill myself. I mean, there's nothing much that I can do. I mean, without help.
It's 10 to 6 in the morning. Alex woke me up about a half hour ago with a urinary tract infection. She's in massive pain. How are you, baby?
It hurts.
Luckily, we live right next door to a hospital, so that's the good thing.
Oh, I'm sorry for getting you up this early.
Alex?
Yes, ma'am.
Hopefully everything's gonna be okay, and hopefully, you know, we won't have to pay a lot of money. Most important thing for me is just to make sure she feels good.
There was a 24-hour pharmacy in Grove City that we were going to take a cab to, but we didn't want to spend all the money. So we're going to take the bus down there, fill Alex's prescription.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's only $24.18, but that's still like a day's wages.
Emergency room, I have a feeling it's going to be a lot more than $24.
30 days, TV.
Time to go to work. Make some money to pay that hospital bill.
I had to figure my left wrist a little more than the right, but it hurts. Not so bad. I'm dragging today, man. Hi, baby. How are you?
Okay. Yeah. How was your day?
Tiring.
Yeah. I called the electric company, and we have to pay a deposit of $110 in the next 10 days.
Perfect. I just got a check to cash. Great. And so I can just cash my check and give it to the electric company.
Awesome.
I've never had to make a deposit to the electric company in my life. It's got to be the address. It's got to be because of where we live. Like, there's probably a long list of people who have, like, gotten electric and, like, booked out. Thought I felt okay. And then once I washed off the dirt and saw that my arm was starting to change colors, I thought it'd probably be a good idea to go to the doctor.
It's getting big.
It's getting puffier. You know, I could go to a free clinic tomorrow, but they won't take an x-ray there. They'll refer me to another doctor. So I think I'm just going to try and be the middleman and go to an emergency room now. This is turning into a very expensive day.
On a 0 to 10 scale, what would you call your pain level right now?
I'd say 6.
I'm gonna cook these.
They don't want me to go to work tomorrow, which really blows. The thing is when you're making such little money, you're really living check to check. To have something like having to come to the hospital, and now not only one person, but both of us coming to the hospital today, I mean, it's scary.
Morgan's arm's all messed up. My head's killing me. But we can't stop working. Because I don't know how we're going to make it through the month.
We're not going to make it unless I get a second job. It's not like we can spend any less money than we already are.
I don't know how it's possible for me to spend less money right now unless I cut out eating. If I stopped eating, I could save so much money.
It's day 15 of my month on minimum wage. To make ends meet, I've been working 2 full-time jobs for the past few days. I've been doing everything from making pizzas, to washing dishes, to landscaping, to painting, to making boxes.
It's kind of like heaven, only with boxes.
2 8-hour shifts, plus transportation time in between. I spend an average of 18 hours away from home every day.
I'm tired, but I'm going to have $44 here in about 11 hours.
Yeah, that's him.
This here's living. What's wrong, sweetheart?
It hurts. 4 days ago, I got this bladder infection and went to the emergency room. And for 4 days, I've had a headache. If we had any more money, I would go get a new prescription. But we don't.
Look, I bet I can have some pizza.
I doubt it.
Picking up the trash, that's what I do. I don't kiss ass. I pick up trash.
Want me to take your tray there? I'm the best dishwasher ever.
I'm the best track figure around. Tell me.
All right, man. Alfred, who picks me up, this kid's 22 years old, has 4 kids, and he's working, you know, this basically minimum wage job. It's incredible. You know, that's just a tough place to be. Alfred's got his check. I got my check. Yeah, he had a better day than me. Look at that, 59, 53, 45, 26.
Alfred has 5 extra mouths to feed on $50 a day. That's unbelievable. Alex and I are having a rough time making ends meet, and it's just the 2 of us. Imagine if we had kids. I mean, kids are expensive. You've got to pay for everything. Books,
no, this
diapers,
is not.
formula.
This is 30 days.
As soon as my kids are old enough to walk, they'll be old enough to work.
I called my brother Collect, of course. I told him how hard things were, and he goes, well, you have no idea how hard it is. You should have a couple of kids. And I said, yeah, well, why don't you give me yours? And he said, fine, I'll bring them up.
It's a big weekend. The kids are coming, it's Easter, and it's Alex's birthday.
That's something that we should think about. Kids get Easter baskets.
Not these kids.
And you know what? Even when we were living on $2 a day, when we had no money when I was a kid, on birthdays and Easter and Christmas, my mom made miracles happen. Should we make rice and beans again?
Yes, we definitely should.
That's it. That's for their Easter baskets.
You can have 2 of these, but not all 4.
Boy, our kids are gonna hate Mom.
Oh.
No.
Only if you phrase it like that, you jerk. 2.
Is that all you got?
That's it.
You know what? We're gonna put back one of those waters. Here, and we'll pull off 4 of these things. $1 more off of these. We'll pull these out.
Since the kids are coming, and we can't afford to entertain them, I'm going to the library to research fun stuff we can do for free.
I wish.
Your guide to Free Ohio, do-it-yourself fun for the whole family. Number 2, animal shelter. It says, kind of a sad visit if you don't plan to adopt an animal.
Come on.
It's unbelievable. The bank. Call up your local bank and ask for a tour. Here's the money you don't have. Winter advisory. If you wear a ski mask, take it off before entering the bank. The hospital. I can honestly say these are some of the worst ideas ever.
We have sheets now and pillows. Do we need anything else for the kids?
We could get blankets.
$4.99. $5.99. Ugh. Great. Yellow blanket, $3.99.
$15.27. I don't know what Morgan and I would do if we had to pay somebody to take care of the kids right now. We just couldn't do it. Both of us are working full-time jobs. And there's no way we could afford anyone to take care of the kids.
Child care can run up to $10,000 a year for one child. If you're working for minimum wage, that's your entire yearly salary. This pressure to provide puts an incredible strain on the average working family. The end result being that families who make less than $25,000 a year are twice as likely to divorce as families who make more than $50,000 a year.
Seems like the way society is set up is to tear the family apart.
Marcus is a homeless minimum wage earner trying to support his family.
You know, try to look for jobs, look for housing, child care.
Feed your family.
Yeah. To keep a sane mind with all this drama that we have around us.
Yeah.
You know, and not be at each other's throats and to continue to love each other and continue to be a family.
I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
Especially hard hit are single working mothers. Since they're the sole breadwinners for their families, their children end up paying the price.
Do you realize we have 1 in 5 kids in the state?
TV show.
The alcoholism, the gambling, the spousal abuse. You know, when you read statistics, you are looking at people in poverty for the most part. And it's all stress related. It's all one of these things like, how in the hell am I going to make it?
It's day 23, and my brother's kids have finally arrived.
Best part about this morning was Caitlin taking a 20-minute shower and using all the hot water.
I got in there and it was already gone. Hey, I took a 7-minute shower.
They really make me happy, both of them. You know, I really love those kids. I'm not gonna work over the weekend. That way I can spend time with the kids. That's why you have kids. You get 4 for the Incredibles.
$4.
Bottled water available from the vending machine. for $2.50.
Cool, Dana.
Did you want something to drink?
Not fruit punch? That's your fruit punch.
Okay, they'd like a large fruit punch. I'll have a medium. I'll take a medium.
I'll stop learning.
When you got kids, you spend more money. Looks like a turnover almost.
I know, they all look so good. I really want one.
I got treats.
Yeah?
I doubt they're very expensive.
They said $1.
$1.20 total.
They can do that another. I remind you that you're walking to work every day to save us $2.50. And you go and spend money on all these puzzles.
I have nothing to say. I think you're getting a little bent out of shape for a 60-cent bun.
I'm doing everything possible to scrimp and save, and then you come up with all these little ways to like spend all of our money.
Like what? Like, oh, let's go to the hospital?
Like sodas and candy and newspapers and lotto tickets.
Like, well, okay, I bought a lotto
I
ticket.
haven't purchased anything, and I've been freaking walking to work every day.
Can we get by on minimum wage? We're going and spending $12 at the movie just on drinks. That doesn't seem very smart.
So I spent 60 cents each on 2 buns.
Yes.
We looked at these wonderful buns. We said, wow, let's try those. Those look good. We've been pent up in the apartment. We haven't bought anything in the last month.
I know.
You know, and it's like we're out today. We're out today. We're out today with the kids.
And it's great.
As a family,
fun.
we've spent $10 today.
It's fun. $10 is like 3 hours of work after taxes.
I want my kids to have a good life and to not want for so many things. We can't just live in a box and not do anything and just like lock ourselves in our house. I'm just, you know, pissing money away. I mean, she's going off on me for $1.20 bread. I can't wait to see how she screams at me for taking her out to dinner for her birthday or to do something. But I'm sure she's gonna have words. The kids just left. I can't believe how much money we spent while the kids were here. Plus the $50 we spent on getting stuff before they came. So we spent probably $80. That's a lot.
Kind of seems a little lonely here without them.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. My birthday. We had no money. So, great. Sounds like a blast. I'm totally bummed because it's my 30th birthday and I really wanted to have a big party. All my friends.
Wake up, it's my birthday.
Wake up. Do I just say, screw it? Do I throw caution to the wind and just say I'm going to take one of my days salary and take Alex out for her birthday? I have to. It's her birthday. We can't just stay cooped up in this house all the time, you know, locked in here with the ants. I'm going out of my mind. You know, we have to go do something. We have to go out.
I don't know how people have stable relationships working like this.
I see a bus.
I mean, we don't go out. We're not really extravagant in our lifestyle anyway. But just to have time off together when we're not having to worry about, okay, we have 12 hours and we got to do this, this, and this, and this, you know?
So how much is it to go to the conservatory?
It's $650 for adults.
Okay.
Can you two tickets?
No, we can't afford that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
It's really pretty. Want to go inside? I'll buy you a ticket. I'll go with you. So I'll give you
Yeah,
a
the
choice.
show 30 days.
We can either go in here, or I can take you to dinner.
I think we should go play outside in the building.
For Alex's birthday today, I took her to the park, and it was so nice to be outside and just be with her. I'm so thankful to be going through this with Alex, because this would be really hard without her.
Thank you.
Ooh. That's so nice. That's right.
We just were able to sit and look at each other. Oh, food. Oh, there's Alex. Oh, food. Oh, there's Alex. It was nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That's a big night out.
Dinner cost us $23.13.
So if I can't spend $20 on dinner on your 30th birthday, what kind of boyfriend am I?
The worst one ever.
That's true.
There's no bus anywhere close.
This is called bus stop aerobics.
What are we gonna do now, Alex? What are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do now? What about now? Now? What about now?
We stood outside for 40 minutes waiting for a bus to come, and finally somebody passing told us the bus has stopped running at 6 today.
So, we splurge for a cab?
I still have my emergency 20 in my pocket.
What if you have to take the bus? What if you have to rely on public transportation? Oh, too bad then. You're screwed.
Okay, have a good evening.
Thank you. So how much is it with tax?
13.20 plus taxes.
14. 14 even. Here you go. Could I get 5 back?
Sure.
Thanks, man. Spent $44.10 today. 15 bucks more than I wanted to spend. I wanted to spend $30 today, and we went over because of the cab. Just totally blows. I was hoping that it would be like this magical day, and instead we were crying over $30. It's different, dude. It's really different than a lot of people realize, having to be in this situation.
The bus has already stopped running.
Mark. Cha-ching, going right in my pocket. I'm gonna get right on that bus. Go home. So we went to the hospital to get Alex's bill because we hadn't gotten it yet. Her emergency room bill. They gave us a printout. $438.
That's actually small.
Yeah. It's $300. Is her emergency room fee. Just for walking into the emergency room was $300.
I can't imagine how people pay this stuff off, making as little money as we do. I mean, luckily this is less than $500.
Me? My bill? Just to walk in the door, $551. That's just some bullshit. You know, it makes no sense. You see this medical surgical supplies that's on here, right? $40. I got an Ace bandage, a $40 Ace bandage. You see that? You see where the problem is. This is absolutely ridiculous.
I agree.
It's incredible. I really don't know how people do it because you are really living, you know, right on the edge of a knife every single day. That's not right. Well, let's just go through all of our money and see what we got.
What we got.
There's 100. That's 200. 600. 835.14. That's 470.
Okay. That's rent.
Our gas and water.
Just $12.08.
We have to pay your phone bill.
Just $50.
I mean, the biggest bills we have is the hospital bills, which is $1,217. It's going to take us 3 months to pay that off.
We're screwed.
We live in the richest country in the world. This is our bank. You know, we got a very cheap apartment. We got one bus pass between us. I never turned down a job. We found the free store. You know, we're both educated. We both are articulate. We're white. We're still just getting by.
It's craziness.
It's been 8 years.
since the federal minimum wage has changed? 8. Has inflation changed? Has the world we're living in, the country we live in changed? Absolutely.
Even if you are among the working poor and working 2 jobs at even above minimum wage, you're still just barely going to make it. God forbid anything happen to you. It's really, really, really hard.
We don't see the people that surround us. We don't see the people who are struggling to get by that are right next to us. And I've seen how hard the struggle is. I have been here. And I only did it for a month. And there's people who do this their whole lives.
You know, I love this country and I love the people here. And I feel like Americans can do a lot better. We can treat our citizens better than this.
I encourage you and I challenge you to let your guard down, to strip away your life and to put yourself in the situation of someone else. Because you will be changed. You will walk out of this experience a different person, a much more understanding person, hopefully a much more caring person, and you will be affected, like I've been affected, and I'm better for it. I'm better for being here. So, I'll see you.
Well, let me pick a nut. Huh? Let's see what else we got here. That might be pretty good.
Tonight on 30 Days.
By far, the largest deer that I've ever killed.
A hardcore hunter from North Carolina squares off with a vegan family of animal rights activists.
Pam, this is George.
Wait, you're
the hunter.
Keep my handshake away from you.
Whatever.
Will he lay down his weapons and get in touch with his animal side?
I don't think birds have as many feelings as everybody thinks they do.
Or will a month in the animal kingdom confirm his belief that animal activists
Mike's
are
here
barking
for a
up
while.
the wrong tree?
Deer are food. If they're not food for me, they're food for the front bumper of your truck.
Find out tonight on 30 Days. Should animals have the same rights as humans? You know, freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, the right not to be breaded, deep fried, and thrown in a bucket? Ever since humans started walking upright, we've been eating and beating animals. But times have changed, and now we can chow and plow without harming anything. A fact fueling the notion that animals should have the same rights as humans. But drugs need to be tested. Grandma needs a companion, and everyone loves a good burger. We didn't claw our way to the top of the food chain for nothing, right? Members of the animal rights movement cry foul. For years they've used celebrity appeal, protest, and shocking videos to combat
He's a friend from North Carolina.
Industry, the clothing industry, and the field of animal research. The jailing of football superstar Michael Vick on federal dogfighting charges was the wake-up call animal rights activists had been waiting for. In fact, many of them believe that we're in the middle of a full-fledged animal holocaust. With animal rights in the public eye and veganism sexier than ever, people are asking, should animals be given the same rights as humans? If not, shouldn't they at least be treated humanely? We'll find out when a deer-hunting woodsman with a taste for T-bone has his notion of animal rights and wrongs challenged for the next 30 days.
Really? What happened? It's okay. The rain will give the clothes a nice rain fresh smell. Because I know they're not dry.
We found a guy who loves animals, lined up in his crosshairs and served with a side of green beans.
My name is George Snedeker. I'm 42. I'm from North Carolina. I'm a handyman and presently getting ready to go hunting. Here's my bow and arrow that goes right entirely through the deer. I've seen deer get shot with a fatal shot and literally keep eating. You know, hunting is often misunderstood. A lot of people think that we're bloodthirsty killers, that we're out there killing Bambi. It's really not about that. It's an opportunity to get into nature. A kill's kind of not really the whole story. It's just a part of it. This is hunting. It's not much of a spectator sport. A deer or a cow or a chicken, I think their sole purpose is to feed us. This one right here is one that I killed in my back pasture. This one right here is the one that I was very fortunate to get. This is a tundra swan. It's the only one I've ever killed.
Come on. Oh, no, don't do that.
George lives with his girlfriend Renee and their 2 dogs.
I love my dogs, but they are dogs. They, in effect, are here to serve me.
It may even change the way that you feel about hunting or even about the food that you eat.
I'm not really interested in becoming an animal rights person. I just want to understand why they can be so extreme.
For the next 30 days, George will head to sunny Los Angeles, where he'll be moving in with a family of animal rights activists.
My name is Melissa Carpel. I work for PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Melissa is an events coordinator who
not really
organizes
Booster
animal
Cat.
rights protests around the country.
No more than a poor person does.
Do not belong to us to eat, to wear.
Poor person gets it free too. They get a bill sent on them, just like the immigrants do.
Melissa converted Mom Madeline and twin sisters Kimberly and Stephanie to the vegan lifestyle 2 years ago. Dad Don made the switch just last year.
I know his name is George.
You should have watched the previous show, 2 shows back.
The whole concept of killing an animal just for the sport of it is something that just is repulsive to me, and it's repulsive to all of us.
Yeah. Doing this project really gives me the chance to show George what it's like to live in a normal family that happens to be vegans and animal rights activists.
It's the evening before George has to head out west, and girlfriend Renee has put together a going-away barbecue and invited over a posse of his meat-loving friends.
We thought you could use some new t-shirts.
In 30 days, you probably eat that picture off the shirt.
I got a lot of friends that don't think that I can do this.
Well, you should have watched the very first show I showed. This is different. Let's watch this one now.
It's early morning of day 1, and it's George's last chance to soak up the clean Carolina air before heading off to Smog City.
Have fun.
It's going to be a blast.
For the next 30 days, George will have to live by these 3 rules. Number 1, move in with a family of animal rights activists and follow their rules of the house. That means absolutely no hunting and no eating or wearing anything from an animal. Number 2, he has to get a job working at an animal sanctuary or an animal shelter. And number 3, he must actively partake in animal rights protests.
I can't believe that I'm here. My nerves are kind of creeping up on me right now. I mean, they're probably very nice people that just think that some of their ideas are somewhat unusual. How are you?
Good. So nice to meet you, George. Welcome, Melissa.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. So nice to meet Stephanie.
Stephanie, nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. I'm Kimberly. Nice to meet you.
Hey, George.
Hey, Don, nice to meet you, man.
Molly is about 14 and she's deaf. This is Jackson.
Jackson's pretty.
I was pretty nervous. This is a guy that goes out and shoots an animal in cold blood.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
I have a friend coming over who's actually helping us with the demo tomorrow. Is that all right with you?
What tomorrow?
The demonstration that we're doing tomorrow.
The cooking demonstration?
No, we're going to be going out on the street and doing a little protest.
Evidently, my first day, I have to go and take part in a protest. I've never taken part in a demonstration of any kind. What kind of a response?
Most of the time we get people coming by that ask for leaflets. They want to know why we're out there. We have a video here that I want to show you.
Cutting a beak off is not like trimming your nails. It's like having the tips of your fingers chopped off. And the shock of it sometimes kills the birds. Catching the birds for transport to slaughter is extremely harmful to them when done by poorly paid and poorly trained workers. The catchers gather 4 or 5 birds at a time and violently hurl them into crates, often breaking their bones and bruising them.
30 days.
So it's a little bit.
I think half of that is bullshit. I'm sure you guys are going to show the ugliest video that you could possibly find.
Animals do not belong to us to be put in factories. Animals do not belong to us to be eating for food and to be slaughtering as a product and to be kept in cages so they can't even spread their wings. They are their own sentient beings that have a right to exist on their own.
I disagree.
It's going to be a rocky road if he's not able to accept the fact that animals have rights.
This is exactly what I expected when I came here. It's typical anybody that's got a cause. They've got a lot of complaints and no solutions. Since I have the ability to think about what I'm putting on my plate, that gives me the right to eat anything I want. I'm not going to change my ways. If things aren't different from the way they were today, it's going to be a very uncomfortable month for both of us.
It's day 2, George is barely out of bed, and the PETA Patrol is already on the prowl.
This is your butt. This is your little chicken butt tail.
George's job at this protest is to wear a chicken suit and kill a woman dressed up like a fried chicken-eating Kentucky colonel.
I'm doing it because it's in the nature of what I'm here for. Is it going to stop me from going to a fast food chicken place or going and getting some chicken myself? No.
We're going to turn the tables a bit here. You get to go with Colonel Sanders. If we sit out there crying, upset, yelling at people about, the horrible conditions of these chickens, people won't listen to that. So we kind of do a more upbeat way of getting the message out. This is the person that is responsible for torturing and killing your family. Ready for chicken's revenge? Watching this hunter go out and wear chicken suits, speaking up for the chickens.
I can sponsor if I want to.
I need to come out of this. These places like this, they're providing a service that people want.
People want to eat this food, but they also
30
have
days.
the right to know what is going on. Because you're not going to rely on this restaurant or any of these industries to go, let me tell you what chronic cruelties have been suffering to the chicken before it arrived in your bucket. Unfortunately,
I'm more inclined to believe them simply because they are in a business of putting my food on my table, and
that's exactly right. They're a business.
Save the world if you want, but stay off my dining room table. I don't think that we did much good. That fast food establishment's going to be open tomorrow, and they're going to have just as many customers, maybe even more.
It's day 3, and to show George that animal rights isn't all bullhorns and machete-wielding chickens, Melissa signs him up to work at an animal rescue facility outside LA.
There's an animal sanctuary that's about 45 minutes from here called Animal Acres. What it is animals that are rescued from factory farming. So you see the chickens there with their beaks cut off, and you see, turkeys that have their legs bowed and stuff like that.
How do you rescue an animal? Do you steal it?
No. She can explain to you how she acquires her animals that she has there.
For the next month, George's boss will be the co-founder and director of Animal Acres, Lori Bouston.
Hi, you must be George, huh?
That's me.
Welcome, welcome. You've had quite the adventure, I'll tell you that. You've got courage, George.
I started the Farm Animal Sanctuary movement 21 years ago because there was a huge need to rescue and protect cows, pigs, and chickens. Most farm animals are excluded from state anti-cruelty laws, which means anything goes. And when we find animals suffering at factory farms and stockyards, there needs to be a place like Animal Acres to bring animals to.
Very cute. Oh, very nice. He loves chin scratches. Oliver wants to give you a kiss. Oliver.
Oliver won't be kissing me.
Say, please don't eat me.
I still think these are food animals. I mean, I might not eat them, but in my opinion, that's the one thing that I'm gonna have a hard time with this month is there's certain animals that were meant to be eaten.
Well, these of course are the chickens and the turkeys. Come here, sweeties. Yeah, go ahead and give her a pet.
Just for the record, I think birds are nasty.
So isn't it funny how we're raised, you know, just as Germans and, you know, Nazi Germany decided that Jewish people were different and not worthy of value and, in fact, life. It's the same now with what humans are doing with animals.
Suffering and dying are two different things.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
But see, now I could no more kill this turkey and eat her than I could a dog. I just don't feel I have a right to kill animals. I just, any more than I think Nazis had the right to kill Jews or men had the, you know, whites had the right to, you know, kill African Americans. You know, to me it's just...
Few people. Everybody's got everything. You know, they've got these really scripted pitches. Their shtick is to shock. And I don't play them. Humans are completely different than animals. I would put even vegan above my dog. I mean, because they're people.
You would save me over your dog?
Of course.
Oh my God. You know, that's your family.
It's a dog.
It's your family. You don't even know me. That's a family. A dog is family.
It's a dog. It's an animal. This woman can't think about of anything besides her own agenda. I've got to go back to work with her. Well, this 30 days just got a lot longer.
It's day 4, and to show George he isn't the only one testing new waters, Melissa is researching his favorite pastime.
Yeah. Well, I know.
She went out and bought a hunting magazine.
These people are pretty proud of their trophies that they caught. I mean, they'll take pictures with them and stuff like that.
Catch them.
What do you mean? Oh,
they kill them.
Kill them. I totally get that you pride yourself on when you do shoot an animal. It's quick and painless. If you are going to hunt, that's, you know, the most humane way to do it. But I'm looking at
there is non-dairy ice cream. I don't know what it's made with.
Some of them said that it was their first time out, and I'm just, you know, how is it that they're able to shoot an animal in a humane way and make sure that it's not going to suffer?
The weapons are designed to be just absolutely dead on accurate, and the way we do it is to try and be as humane as possible.
The most humane thing would be not to be shooting them at all.
You can't judge people that grow up in an environment where they deer hunt. In some places, it's a family event. It's something that a group of friends get together and they do on an annual basis. It's a big deal.
I just don't understand where it comes from, what this pride is of sitting over an animal, especially in these pictures where they're propped up like it was some sort of, you know, prize.
Somebody that's an animal rights person, any animal dying is a bad thing. So I guess the only emotion they want to see is tears. It's a beautiful animal.
It is a beautiful animal, but it would be just as beautiful of a picture if he was sitting up in his tree stand all the time and took a gorgeous picture of him, you know, the deer eating grass or any of that.
And everybody, stop eating meat, stop killing chickens, stop killing cows. It's just not going to happen. And quite frankly, I'm not even interested in making it happen.
Day 8, and today George is getting schooled on animal testing at a protest at UCLA.
How many animals have to die?
Like many American universities, UCLA receives funding to conduct vivisection, the practice of operating on live animals for scientific research. Scientists claim it's 100% necessary and that medical breakthroughs would be impossible without it. But activists say vivisection is just animal cruelty veiled in science, and the true motives are good old-fashioned greed and profit.
If you are sick and tired of your tax dollars going to fund animal experimentation, then this building should be the target of your frustration.
The only thing I understand right now, honestly,
and no nervous system either.
Right. We're drawing attention forward. Got it.
None of us can even possibly imagine a paralytic drug like Botox injected right into your eyes while you're fully conscious.
If 1, 5, 10 animals have to die to save one human being, I'm fine with it.
To get a better education on the topic, George checks in with neurologist Aisha Akhtar, a doctor who used to back animal testing but has changed her tune.
What new companies are doing is coming up with human-based tests. We can use tissue cells, organ cultures, and that's going to be far more predictive of what's going to happen to people than any type of animal experiment. 92% of the drugs that are found to be safe and effective in animal experiments are found to be unsafe or ineffective in people. Out of that 8% that do make it to the market, half of them are later recalled.
I finally got to talk to somebody that had something besides a rant. Do you see an end to it?
It's not quite there yet, but with time I know that we are going to be able to move away from animal experiments fully, and people will get on board with that.
It's day 11, and George is at Animal Acres getting his daily dose of livestock and Lori.
This is Harmony, and again, she's one of my girls that was rescued from an egg factory farm, so she spent her whole life in a cage.
If they're this docile when they're on their backs, why don't they just put them on their backs to kill?
Because the industry's more concerned that it's going as fast as possible.
Okay, and I'm telling you, just like I told the people the other day, they want to stop us eating at one fast food chain. Well, then when that fast food chain stops what they're doing, well, then they're just going to find another chicken issue to jump on. And ultimately, their goal is to get everybody to live just like them. It's just not going to happen.
Vegetarianism, veganism is a personal choice. We also work on reforms because we do recognize it's a personal choice. But what isn't a personal choice is, being cruel to the animals.
I try to be rational with that woman. There's really nothing I can say. Without embarrassing my mother. That deer that I killed, I give it all the respect in the world. It doesn't go to waste.
Killing is wrong, whether you abandon the animal and don't do anything with the animal, or whether you take the animal home and eat it.
That is a live animal. You named it, it's your pet, knock yourself out. I'm not going to come and kill that animal.
Thank you, George.
But I'm going to go to the grocery store and I'm going to get a piece of chicken and fry it up. Not that one, that's yours, that's here for you, so you can have your pet food, but it's food.
And that's no different than what the Nazis did to the Jews and whatever,
A syllable does not come out of that woman's mouth that's not a jab in some way at the industry or me. I'm not going to hear it. I'll shut down just as fast as anybody else.
After a day of dueling with Lori, George vents his frustrations to the Carpels.
How'd it go today?
I didn't think it'd get worse. Her view of everything is just...
But you're going to go back and help the animals out?
I'd like to. I don't know if I'm welcome.
It takes, I think, a bigger person to say, look, I know I may not be welcome here, but you want to put your foot back into the water. It may be cold, it may be scalding hot, but you're going to put your foot back in and get yourself back in there. That's really the higher road and higher, try and do.
I'm really thankful to be with you guys. Because if I had to live with that woman over there, I would have bought a plane ticket home. Melissa and her family, they're just rational. And I've said from the beginning, if somebody wants to tell me something in a rational way, I'll have a conversation.
I took it down.
It's dinner time on day 13, and tonight Melissa is treating George to a gourmet vegan feast.
Potato salad with vegan mayonnaise. The club sandwich, which has a turkey-style wheat meat on it. What? Wheat meat.
Wheat meat?
That's what, that's how we refer to it as. It's made out of wheat, it's a wheat gluten. Then we have the Reuben, which has vegan cheese on it.
Thank you very much. This is good. Pretty proud of that mayonnaise.
Yeah.
But it is good. I just really don't understand the problem that animal rights activists have with milk.
Well, just like cows that are going for slaughter, dairy cows are kept in conditions that are artificial to them.
And that's all they know. It's not artificial to them.
Fresh air, being hooked up to machines, even though they don't know any different because they were born into that environment, it's still uncomfortable. They still get sores on their udders from being hooked up to machines that are pumping milk out of them all day long.
Yeah, I've seen that.
America doesn't really care. If it tastes okay, they don't care.
I do think that people care because people don't like animal cruelty.
There's certain animals that are food. Nobody wants to see them suffer. But people want to see them on their plate.
2 weeks in, and George is still sticking to his guns. Hoping some close contact with a dairy farm will open his eyes, Lori arranges a ride-along with Frank Allen, the man responsible for rescuing the animals at Animal Acres.
Frank is Animal Acres' chief cruelty investigator, so when we get a call that there's an animal in need, we send in Frank.
Today, Frank is giving George a tour of Ontario, California, a factory farming area 50 miles outside LA. Factory farms produce meat, dairy, and egg products on a massive scale that keeps operating costs low so they can pass on the savings to hungry consumers. Activists claim the crowded conditions on these farms are cruel and inhumane, and the only things passed on to consumers are hormones and disease.
So this is basically a calf replacement ranch. In order to have milk, you have to keep the mothers pregnant. Cows don't just naturally produce milk. So rather than let them be with the mother, because milk's not for the baby cow, the milk is for us. They take them out and they put them in these hutches here.
I didn't realize they were in these little pens.
And these guys get to stay in that little crate for about 6 months. Look what they're sitting on, their own shit and piss.
These baby cows have one of two fates. The males get shipped off to veal ranches, and the females head right back to the dairy farms.
Dead one right there, bro.
Newborn.
Death rate usually fluctuates between about 5 and 10% for these, because a lot of these simply can't make it, they're not strong enough.
2 weeks ago we were out here, we found about 40 of them. One dairy farm had about 6 or 7 all stacked up. Any day of the week you'll come out here and see this. This is not uncommon.
Well, it's the first time I've seen it. It's unfortunate. What do they do with that thing? Does like animal control or something coming in?
No, they have a dead animal pickup that comes around and he'll pick them up and they'll render them up. What they basically do is they'll throw them all on like a conveyor belt and grind them up. When you eat meat and pork and stuff like that, you're actually kind of as a byproduct eating dead animals.
Nobody wants to see this stuff. I expected to see it, and it wasn't pretty.
So what they do, rather than spend the money to have the dead animal pickup trucks pick them up on the property and have to pay money, they bring them out to places like this and just dump them. Or they just throw them out here.
This is really unfortunate. Yeah, I don't like the way this looks. It's ugly.
I think this guy's coming in here to pick up the load right now.
I don't understand the industry, but that seems a little harsh.
I mean, look, they just grab them by the back tail, the leg, whatever they can grab onto. I mean, just like they're shit. They're babies, man. I mean, if we did this to puppies, they'd be in jail right now, you know? But yeah, just throw them out.
Yeah, I just don't, you know, I just don't understand. I don't know. You know, when I got here, I was making an uninformed guess about what I was going to see. I didn't realize the amount of suffering